Damn. My nigga. Fuck. What's good, Fight World? I'm Pat Caddy, man. Steel Mills Boxing in effect. But, man, I just had to, run around at work for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, man, and fucked up everything I got going on, man. But, I want to touch on Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. And what's going on with that is who's ducking who and who would beat who and all that. And basically, I feel like this, man. When it was first announced that Ryan Garcia may be facing Manny Pacquiao or whatever the case may be, that's not a duck. That's not a duck. You're not ducking Tank to go and fight Manny Pacquiao. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. For one, Manny Pacquiao is at an accelerated age, so you're more likely to get him the fuck up out the paint right now as a young pup than you were when he was in his prime 10 years ago. That's not a duck. Tank Davis, if Tank Davis was offered a Manny Pacquiao fight, and after barking on Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis would be a fool not to take the Manny Pacquiao fight. It's a bigger payday. It's a Hall of Fame fighter that you're adding to your resume. Even if you lose, the experience that you gain from fighting him completely exceeds what you would gain from fighting a Ryan Garcia. Or if Ryan Garcia was to fight Manny Pacquiao, the experience fighting Manny Pacquiao would exceed him fighting a Tank Davis. And he's 2 divisions above you dig what I'm saying? So even then, it's a courageous move. So I don't like this notion that he's ducking Tank Davis. And if he wanted to fight a Teofimo Lopez, he's a more accomplished fighter. Teofimo Lopez just had probably the best victory of the year last year by knocking off Lomachenko. So if Ryan Garcia decided to go in that direction, that's not a duck. He's not ducking Tank Davis because he's fighting more proven and a more polished fighter. You understand what I'm saying? A bigger fighter, a more dangerous fight. That's not a duck. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Now, as far as them two, how they would actually match up, they share a common opponent in Fonseca. At 35, Tank isn't the demon that he is at 30. He's not. He's not. I mean, he went a grueling, I don't know what, 8 rounds with Fonseca. Ryan Garcia crashed that nigga in 1 round. Now, triangle theories and all that shit doesn't work or whatever. But there is some sort of clarity in it. There is, but you can't use that to as a crutch and rely on when it comes to an analysis, a proper analysis. So we'll do it like this. In Tank Davis's last fight at 35, he fought Yuriorkis Gamboa, who caught an injury during that fight. It was a hobble. His Achilles was ruptured, and it took him 12 rounds to step on that nigga. After he knocked him down a couple of times, he dominated him early on. But when Gamboa got his bearings back, Tank, I don't know if he was gassed. I don't know if he was just like, oh shit, how come this motherfucker ain't stood down yet? This nigga still coming at me. What the fuck? It took him 12 rounds to step on a Yuriorkis Gamboa, who was coming, who got an injury during the fight in his foot. Ryan Garcia just crashed a legitimate top 10 lightweight, a title contender at lightweight. It's not the same. It's not. And I see a lot of people saying if Tank hit him like that, then y'all, he sleep. But yeah, that's true. I don't doubt that, but you have to land a shot. Now, granted, I did see a lot of flaws in Ryan's game in that fight. The main glaring flaw that I saw outside of him fighting with his chin, extremely high in the air, is he was spinning. He was circling to Luke Campbell's left hand. He did that all night, and it was aggravating me because I was rooting for Ryan Garcia. But I'm like, I don't know, he could lose this fight. But I was like, I think the youngin got enough to to crash that nigga. He crashed him, but it wasn't without repercussions. Him walking into that man's straight left hand is what put him on his pockets. So there is most definitely flaws in his game that need to be polished. However, he got knocked down. He's never been knocked down before. He got up and finished the round strong. Finished the round strong. You got to commend him for that. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on Young's name. It's Mexicans who don't even like Ryan Garcia. Oh, he don't speak Spanish. He don't speak Spanish. The Mexicans in my gym, he don't even speak Spanish. He ain't Mexican. He ain't Mexican. I guess so. You know, it is a little weirdo that his dad has to fucking translate for Eddie Reynoso. You should be speaking that shit, bro. You know, I'm trying to learn Spanish. My wife is Mexican and Guatemalan, man. I know a lot more Spanish than the average nigga. You dig what I'm saying? But take your ass to school. You know what I'm saying? Learn that shit. Go get you a tutor. Canelo was learning. He knows English. Why can't your ass pick up on Spanish? Fuck. So, as far as them two are concerned, Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, man, the fact that he got up and finished the fight the way that he finished the fight, not even finished the fight, after he got knocked down, how he got up and still held his composure. His bells got rang. And his response to that was, let me get back in here in the trenches and go to work. And he did that. He most definitely did that. I think that, you know, I think that took somewhat of the fight out of Luke Campbell, because he was like, yo, what the fuck? I just put this pup on his ass, and he got up and fought me back. That's a warrior right there, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta salute him for that. People couldn't wait to say Tank Davis would knock him the fuck out if Tank Davis hit him the way that Luke Campbell hit him. The thing is this, Luke Campbell was 5'9", an inch shorter than Ryan Garcia. It's easier to get to him. It's easier to get the shot to the target when you know your limbs aren't compromised. Luke Campbell has longer arms than a Tank Davis. He's taller than a Tank Davis by about 4 inches. It's easier for him to land on Ryan Garcia. This is just basic biology. It's basic biology. So the likelihood of a Tank Davis landing that shot the way that Luke Campbell did is highly unlikely, and I'm gonna tell you why. Ryan fights very tall. He fights with his chin in the air, high in the air. There's no bend in his knees. You know, his knees are bent enough to where his knees are, you know, they're not locked. His knees aren't locked. But it's enough, you know, it's not the bend in his knees in a traditional boxing stance where he's more so on his toes, he's bouncing back and forth, he's moving his upper body. That's not who Ryan is. He's really rigid. And the way he times his left hook with shorter fighters, cats who are Tank Davis's height. Yikes. Yikes. I don't see Tank Davis doing anything with Ryan Garcia, man. And the biggest thing is Tank Davis fights in that Philly shell defense. His hands are pretty low. His hands are low. And the way Leo Santa Cruz was catching that, man, I'm like, yo, Santa Cruz was in that fight. Now, granted, I do think it's because of the value that Santa Cruz puts out when he fights. That nigga averages 1,000+ punches in one match. That's wild. His work rate is incredible, man. And I think for me, Tank had to find spots where it's like, all right, I got to find a way to punch in between his punches to somewhat slow him down. And that didn't even stop him. He kept coming forward, throwing 100 punch combinations. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at Ryan Garcia and how he deals with shorter fighters, and that left hook is from hell, man. The way he lands that left hook is devious, man. He's putting niggas to sleep with that left hook. That left hook to the body that he put on Luke Campbell was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I don't see him attack the body like that. For him to attack the body the way he had, that nigga in the push-up position. Yikes. I don't see Ryan Garcia losing to a Tank Davis. I think Ryan Garcia actually stops Tank Davis, personally. That man's left hook is incredible, and how easy and effective as it lands on cats who are Tank Davis's height. I think that will be the dominant factor, is that left hook, because Tank Davis is not. I don't think he's elusive he's not elusive like that. He has good defense, but is it to the effect of where he'll be able to get inside that left hook so he can land his uppercut? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's what I'm saying, man. Like everybody, you know, a lot of these cats nowadays are like they want that Slickster Floyd look, which is cool. I think it's dope. It's incredible for somebody to stay composed like that in the pocket, you know, roll all them shots and everything, man. But I mean, I think the only person who may be close to what Floyd Mayweather could be as far as an immaculate defensive fighter is Shakur Stevenson. But I gotta see him. I gotta see him at 30 and how, because he's calling out Burchell. I gotta see how he deals with adversity when he gets clipped. Because Burchell is gonna hit him. And I gotta see how he responds to that, man. But as far as just an immaculate defender goes, Shakur Stevenson may be the closest to Floyd that we'll see since Floyd. That dude is impeccable defensively. Tank Davis he's not a defensive fighter like that. He fights in that Philly. And he's shorter, so his limbs are compromised, you know, that much, you know, in that regard right there. If he fought with his hands up in the traditional peekaboo defense and had a little bit more upper body movement, I can see him. I think I would be more in favor of him winning that fight, or even possibly stopping. Nah, I wouldn't say stopping. I don't think he'd stop him. But, you know, putting a beat down on him, yeah, I'd be more in favor of it. But a lot of these, you know, when you come up under the floor, you know, the tutelage of Floyd, you're gonna take that route, man. It's just a dope look. I mean, for cats who don't, you know, who don't train, the Philly is a lot more, it's easier on your arms, you know what I'm saying? The acid in your arm doesn't build up as much. You're resting your arms on your body. So it's easier fighting that. It's more energy consuming to fight in that stance as opposed to the peekaboo style with your hands up. When your hands are up, you're exerting energy, and when you're catching punches, people are punching you in the arm, and you're trying to slip shots and roll up under shots, and you're punching. That, you know, if you that takes energy out of your arms, man. So I'm not opposed to the Philly, but if you know, I think to use the Philly effectively, like you have to have the reflexes to match a Floyd Mayweather, who can, you know, do that and be effective amongst taller fighters, man. I think, like I said, when he fought Oscar De La Hoya and De La Hoya pinned him on the ropes, you know, his rolling ability, rolling his upper torso, seeing the shots coming and rolling off of it, you know what I'm saying, in combination, in volume. Oscar was trying to off this nigga's head. He hated him. And Floyd is rolling every shot that's coming out. He's throwing 1-2s. For Floyd to be able to time that shit and not get hit, not take punishment off the rope, that was impeccable, man. And Tank Davis just isn't that. He's not, man. He's not. So, and what else is he gonna do to bring to the table to deal with a Ryan Garcia? How is he gonna get past that left hook? Because when he times that left, man, his timing on that left hook is really, really impeccable. And even he's not the fastest on his feet, but his feet are good enough to, like, I seen him, you know, I seen him get out of range pretty quickly. He gets out of range quickly. And even on Luke Campbell, he got within range pretty quickly. He's not the best, like, his footwork isn't immaculate, but I've seen him get to his spot and get out of danger good. I've seen it, you know what I'm saying? He's good on his feet. He's on his toes enough to where he can get out of range and get in range. Get out of their range and get within his range. So I don't see Tank Davis doing anything. Tank Davis isn't going to be able to land that uppercut as effectively as a lot of people are thinking. Just on the genetic makeup of the two, and them being, you know, 5'5" and 5'10", and the way that Ryan fights with his chin so high in the air and tall and shit like that. You know, everybody is you know, hyped off how he did Jose Pedraza. Pedraza doesn't fight in the manner that Ryan Garcia fights in. He doesn't. Ryan Garcia fights tall. So what is Tank going to do to, you know, turn him into a shorter fighter? Can he get in and chop to the body? Not with the Philly shell. Not with the Philly shell. And if he did, can he get past that man's, can he nullify that man's left hook? I'm not too sure, man. Like I said, I picked Ryan to win that fight, possibly by stoppage. Cause I just don't see, I just do not see Tank Davis being able to stop that man. Damn, I can spin the block. I don't see Tank Davis being able to stop him. I don't see Tank Davis being able to do shit with him. He's not gonna be able to. He's not even gonna be able to get that man. Nah, it's too much height, too much length. And for Tank Davis' approach to fighting, nah, man, you can get away with that with a Jose Pedraza, not with a Ryan Garcia. And niggas don't think them 5 extra pounds make a difference. They do. They make a world of difference. They make a world of difference. They make a world of difference, man. So you know, you struggle with a Gamboa who's your height, and you couldn't get him out the paint for 12. You know, it took you 12 to get him the fuck up out of there. Ryan Garcia is 5'10". He's 5 inches taller than you, and fights like it. Fights every bit of a 5'10". Fights like every bit of a 5'10" fighter. Nah, it's not happening. It's not happening. Tank is dope. You know what I'm saying? I get accused of hating on Tank, and it's not hate, but it's shit that Tank does that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a fan of him pulling up smaller fighters. You know what I'm saying? Even like last year, I know people were talking about he got knockout of the year on Leo Santa Cruz, and how anybody can say that knockout was knockout over the year over a Povetkin and Dillian White is absurd to me. Povetkin went in there, he was paid to be the sacrificial lamb. He was pretty much in there to make Dillian White look like the contender that they were making him out to be. That was the whole plans for you. And you thwarted all of that shit. And you went in there and was on the brink of fulfilling that prophecy. You was on the brink of fulfilling that prophecy. 2 knockdowns, and you looked like, oh man, it looked like you was done. It looked like you was done. You persevered, and you showed that, that IQ, and was able to crash that nigga, put him to sleep. That was the knockout of the year. And not to mention, it was from 2 heavyweights. 2 heavyweights. One who's on his way out. Oh shit. One who's on his way out, and one who was, looking to get a fight with a champion. And how you were able to persevere was, yup. So I don't think Ryan Garcia, or not Ryan Garcia, but Tank Davis had the knockout of the year, man. So, but yeah, all in all, I don't see Tank Davis doing anything with a Ryan Garcia. It's just, nah. Biologically, nah, And if that ain't enough, Tank Davis's approach to defense, it just isn't enough to deal with a nigga like Ryan Garcia, man. He's gonna off that youngin's head, and yeah, that's my spill on it. That's how I feel about it, man. So, Still Mills Boxing, man. Get with me. Like and subscribe. Peace.